We're live at the Texas Motor Speedway with your COVID update. More on that later in the broadcast.
No motive identified yet as Boulder, Colorado mourns the recent mass shooting.
LEGO has unveiled a new product that is out of this world.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Michelle Brooks.
And I'm Kayla Holt. Great news from Texas health officials in the fight against COVID-19. Vaccines will be available to every adult starting next week. ntTV's Andrew Fancher is live at the Texas Motor Speedway with more on the rollout. Andrew?
Thank you, Kayla. The state of Texas is closing in on distributing nearly 10 million doses of the COVID vaccine, and they want to keep the momentum going. Starting next Thursday, all adult Texans are eligible for the vaccine. However, the DSHS is still asking providers to prioritize those at risk, such as older adults, meaning if anyone is 80 years or older, they are immediately moved to the front of the vaccine line. Nonetheless, come next Thursday, Texas will be the largest state to open up shots to anyone. And vaccine supercenters, such as the Texas Motor Speedway, are set with this move.
So now that all Texans are eligible for the vaccine, where can I get mine?
Great question, Kayla. Denton County is currently updating their vaccine portal in response to the state's decision. And according to the local health official, we will still operate by appointment only, utilizing our wait list for sign-up. Once the changes have been completed, they will be accessible on dentoncounty.gov/vaccine. That's all I have for COVID. Back to y'all at the studio.
Thanks, Andy. As the state of Texas begins to open up and people are getting their vaccine shots, movie theaters are seeing a rise in their guests. Chris Cordova joins us live at the Denton Movie Tavern with details on what to expect when going to the movies.
Thanks, Michelle. This Denton Movies Tavern is excited to welcome everyone back to the movie theater. But in order to do that, they're going to need to create an environment that's safe for everyone. The theaters have made some adjustments to ensure their guests' safety. To get tickets, guests will be asked to pre-purchase them online and prepare to be socially distant because the theater will separate groups with 2 empty seats in between. Masks will be required at all times at all locations. I'm here with Movie Tavern manager Pat Wee. How do you think the increased safety measures will impact the movie watching experience?
I'd like to think it is mostly still the same, but we have had to get creative here and there, either if it's with our curbside popcorn pickup or our private cinemas. We've come up with some interesting new ways to experience a movie theater, as well as the classic experience we still provide.
Do you think the increased safety measures will encourage people to come to the theater again?
Absolutely. We are very thorough with all of our sanitization, cleaning, enforcing social distancing and the mask mandate. Everything seems to be going well, and progressively more and more people seem to be coming out to get back to the movies.
Thanks, Pat. That's all I have. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks for that update, Chris. But with weather like this, I'm not ready to stay seated in a theater just yet.
I know exactly what you mean, Kayla. With weather like this, I've been waiting to plan a picnic. I am wondering if I'm going to get that chance. Let's head over to our weather anchor, Hannah, to see exactly when I can make these plans. Hannah?
Well, Michelle, we are 3 days into spring, and while we saw those intense thunderstorms yesterday, it just cleared up beautifully in Denton. Right now, we're sitting at 70 degrees with southwestern winds coming at 15 miles per hour. However, if we move into tonight's conditions, temperatures will drop by 10 degrees, sitting at 60, as well as those wind speeds coming at 5 miles per hour. Now, let's take a look at tomorrow's conditions because things will switch up. We can see we will have a chance of rain, and however, temperatures will still be warm, sitting at 75 degrees. Now, I will break down tomorrow's forecast later on in the show, so make sure you stay tuned. Michelle and Kayla, that's all I have. Back to you.
Thanks, Hannah. Well, with all this great weather, people are on the move, but driving is going to cost a little more. Gas prices are on the rise, and for the past month, gas prices have been increasing. The national average is currently $2.89 a gallon. Here in Texas, that number is $2.63. Experts say this is because people driving more as the COVID pandemic seems to be subsiding, and it's not because President Biden's newest federal energy policy. Experts say we could see prices hit $3 a gallon by Memorial Day.
Gas prices aren't the only thing rising here in North Texas. A possible NFL draft prospect is rising to the occasion right here at UNT. Our sports anchor Justin Ballou has the details.
That's right. North Texas star wide receiver Jalen Darden is heading to the NFL draft next month. ntTV's Zach Fox has the story.
Former North Texas wide receiver Jalen Darden, with a record-breaking senior year, now counts down the days to Pro Day, the opportunity to prove he's NFL ready.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely shed a couple tears because I've been working this hard, and I also haven't done it with my best friend in my life, which is my dad. So that's kind of going to be the hardest part. If anything, I can't share that moment with him.
If drafted, Jalen would be the first UNT football player to go pro since Cody Spencer, drafted in the 6th round in the 2004 draft.
You know, again, he was an unbelievable man to coach, and I'm really, really excited for his future. Watching him go out and perform on Sundays, it's going to be great for everybody, but great for him, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to watch him play.
Despite being 5'9" and weighing just over 170 pounds, Darden believes his work ethic is second to none and is now a role model to future UNT football players to prove you can make it too.
That size and talent doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you just got to go out and achieve what you want to achieve. So if anything, I feel like I put in the work. So therefore, when I show others that they can do the same and they go out and work every day hard as they can, then anything can happen.
Jalen's Pro Day will be Thursday, March 25th, his chance to wow scouts one more time as a member of the Mean Green. I'm Zach Fox, ntTV.
Best wishes to Jalen, and we will be ready for him on Thursday. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Justin. The trial of Derek Chauvin has now found its jury. How will this historic trial play out?
And an anonymous donation will greatly benefit UNT's medical students. More of that story when we come back.
It's that time of year where everyone plays a dangerous game with the flu. Going in uneducated, you run the risk of symptoms like cough, migraine, and fatigue. Don't be like this guy. Combat the flu with cough drops, ibuprofen, and a good night's sleep. Be smart, don't catch the flu.
Sorry. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry.
When you park in front of the ramp, somebody can't make it up the ramp. When somebody can't make it up the ramp, they miss their class. When they miss their class, they fail their final. When they fail their final, they drop out of school. If you drop out of school, you get a face tattoo from a guy named Scorpion. Don't get a face tattoo from a guy named Scorpion. Be courteous. Don't block wheelchair ramps.
There is still no motive reported for the loss of 10 lives at a local supermarket in Boulder, Colorado. The shooter is now in police custody and the investigation continues. CNN's Daryl Forges has updates on the details of the victims.
Another U.S. city in mourning.
I feel numb, and it's heartbreaking.
After police say a 21-year-old suspect opened fire in a Boulder, Colorado supermarket Monday afternoon, taking the lives of 10 people aged 20 to 65.
10 lives lost. 10 friends, neighbors, sisters, brothers, parents.
Boulder police not only investigating the murders, but grieving the loss of one of their own, 51-year-old officer Eric Talley.
He cared about Boulder Police Department. He cared about his family, and he was willing to die to protect others.
The suspect, Ahmad Alaliwi Alyssa, now faces 10 counts of first-degree murder. Police say the motive still unclear.
We are going to do everything in our power to make sure this suspect has a thorough trial, and we do a thorough investigation.
In Washington, flags lowered to half-staff. President Joe Biden confronting a mass shooting for the second time in less than a week.
I even hate to say it because we're saying it so often. My heart goes out.
Making an urgent appeal for federal gun reform.
I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common sense steps that will save the lives in the future.
While in Colorado, a community is left to put the pieces back together.
We'll get through this and we'll come out of it stronger.
In Boulder, I'm Daryl Forges.
This week alone, there have been at least 7 mass shootings reported across the United States. The opening statements in the trial of former Minneapolis police Derek Chauvin open on Monday, who is charged with the murder of George Floyd. The jury seated for the trial is a racially mixed group of 6 people identified as Black or multicultural. The group includes a nurse, grandmother, and a chemist. Most of them have seen the bystander viral video of Floyd pinned on the street. The jurors said they will decide on the case based on evidence.
The surge in unaccompanied migrant children across the U.S.-Mexican border is getting worse. The federal government has already closed the border between the two countries, but officials must decide what to do with the thousands of people, many of them children, who are already here. CNN's Britt Conway has the latest on what the White House plans to do now.
This is not the time to come. This is not a safe journey to make.
But thousands are arriving at the southern border. U.S. Customs and Border Protection shared these photos after catching more than 300 people this weekend. And this is inside a Border Patrol processing center in Texas, where attorneys for children detained here say they take turns sleeping on mats on the floor, sometimes waiting days to bathe. The White House says this surge is happening for a number of reasons.
First of all, we were left with a very challenging situation.
There were 2 hurricanes. People are fleeing really challenging economic conditions, crime, poverty. Smugglers are encouraging kids and families to take these journeys. We know we're working against a lot of headwinds here, and there's more work we have to do.
That work includes what they say.
They cannot come to the border. The border is closed.
Who says it?
There's also a trip that is happening right now with some of our senior officials to some of these countries.
And where they say it.
When radio ads and Facebook ads and social media.
The White House says that includes about 17,000 radio ads in multiple Latin American countries since January, almost 600 digital ads, and even comic books and animated shows in El Salvador. Still, one advocate says it's too little too late.
The fact of the matter is that this was a known reality that was likely to occur.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
A company in Dallas is giving new opportunities to refugee women. Jinya Huang founded the Breaking Bread, Breaking Borders to help women become more economically independent by learning how to cook. The women are mentored by professional chefs, caterers, and culinary consultants. Since 2017, her company has given around 24 women new chances to be able to succeed.
I think I would like to continue to grow Break Borders for sure. I'd love to train more women. What we do in the program is we train women in culinary education process, and we find, opportunities to acquire the food handler's permit and the food manager's license, and those certifications, send them on to bigger and better job opportunities in this food service industry.
Huang hopes her company will help empower refugee women and says her mother was her biggest inspiration to start this social justice initiative in Dallas.
And this is how I'm honoring her legacy, right? It's by giving other women opportunities, other immigrant women, other refugee women, other women who feel like an other and didn't belong and didn't know that cooking was a job skill, that this is a way to invest in them and also in their families and back into the communities.
To learn more about the program, visit breakingbreadbreakingborders.com.
What a touching way to help those women. And that food is probably going to be pretty tasty, but it is reminding me that I might have to wait a little longer for that picnic.
I know, it looks like rain is in the forecast for a few more days. Let's head over to our weather anchor, Hannah, to see what kind of weather the rest of Texas will experience this week. Hannah?
Well, Michelle, you might have that chance for a picnic, but first let's look at the current conditions across the Metroplex. We can see Denton is sitting at 70 degrees along with McKinney, and Fort Worth is a bit warmer at 72. Now let's zoom out and look at our state map. We can see Shreveport and Austin are at 74, Houston a bit warmer at 78, and then Abilene up north at 60. But let's move into that 7-day forecast. So I mentioned earlier that we will see a 30% chance of rain on Wednesday. Passing showers will go through the afternoon, and we could possibly see thunderstorms throughout the night. Now Thursday, it's going to increase with those rain chances at 80%. With a high of 62 and a low of 42. You know, those periods of rain will go throughout the morning. However, it might clear up. And then Friday, Michelle, you can have that picnic with a high of 76 and a low of 50. Now Saturday, moving into the weekend, it's going to be our warmest day. However, we will see an 80% chance of cloud cover with a high of 77, low of 52. Moving into our work week on Monday, it's just going to be dull and gloomy with a high of 71, low of 50, and we will actually see evening showers on Monday. That's all I have for weather tonight. Michelle and Kayla, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Hannah. I can't wait for the spring weather to kick in. Well, we have incredible news for first-year students enrolled in UNT's medical school partnership with TCU. Over $3.6 million was donated to cover tuitions for the class of 2024. The anonymous couple donated enough for each student to receive $60,000 each. This inspired students to give back to our community by volunteering on weekends to help give COVID-19 vaccinations.
Summer is on its way, and the Fort Worth Trinity Falls is on our road trip radar.
And LEGO fans will be happy to know there's a new set that's on its way. That story when we come back.
Hey, listen to my flow to save some H2O. This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go, oh no!
UNT is more than 125 years in the making. To find new solutions, we create a new point of view. We know what's possible when creativity, originality, and independent thought converge. We're ranked a Tier 1 research university. We're home to excellence the size of Texas. Define your future at UNT and soar to new heights.
Spring is finally here, and today's weather is proof of it. We have a suggestion on how to enjoy it to the fullest. For this week's North Texas road trip, our very own Nomi Sanchez will take us to the newest addition at Fort Worth's Trinity Falls.
Located just beside Fort Worth's downtown area, Trinity Trails is a park offering more than 100 miles of scenic trails following Trinity River. From kayaking to fishing to even horseback riding, this park is designed for various experiences to those who visit. One of the nice things about this place is its accessibility to the community during such hard times. This park, unlike others, connects to 31 different neighborhoods around the city, allowing visitors to access different Fort Worth hotspots like the Stockyards, University Street, and Trailhead Farmers Market.
Today we decided that we wanted to go on a bike ride, so that was really nice getting back out here and kind of seeing everybody outside, especially since we've had the pandemic going on. But it's nice to look at the lake and everything and see everybody playing outside with their dogs and whatnot.
This place is a gem to the Fort Worth community, so much that the Tarrant Regional Water District and the City of Fort Worth have worked together on projects to further enhance and innovate the park's experience for all trail users. These innovations have consisted of repainting, relighting, and installing new amenities to the trails. One of the more recent and notable installations has been Frank Kent's Dream Park. Started in 2018, this park is specially designed for children of all abilities, going above and beyond to ensure kids of all kinds can enjoy the fun of Dream Park. Here, there's something made for everyone, allowing visitors to bring life to the Trinity River area as it gives trail users a sense of freedom.
So it's always a fun ride. I think the scenery is really nice, and I like seeing the buildings, and I also like, all the people. I think it's a really friendly crowd out here, so that's another reason I like coming here. It's always kept up, it's always clean, so I really like this area.
Well, if you think Legos are just about making play buildings, think again. LEGO is releasing a new set that will take all LEGO lovers out of this world. The company has partnered with NASA and is releasing their first joint model set that features the Discovery Shuttle and Hubble Space Telescope. This collaboration was formed to honor the 40th anniversary of the first space shuttle flight on April 12th in 1981. This new set has more than 2,300 pieces and measures 8.5 inches high, 21 inches long, and 13.5 inches wide, all for the price of $199. Mark your calendars because this new set goes on sale on April 1st.
Michelle, did you catch the NCAA tournament this weekend?
I sure did, and even though the Mean Green lost, history was made. Let's go to our sports anchor Justin Ballou for details on this special March Madness run.
Thanks, guys. Stay tuned for an update on how the Mean Green performed in March Madness.
You've made yourself a target, James.
Okay, that's perfect. But I had a great time talking to you today. I have one more question. Is wrestling really real?
What?
Imagine it's ice cream day at the office. And everyone from the day before voted for their favorite flavor. Everyone but you. You decided not to vote. The flavor they picked isn't the one that you wanted. But can you really complain? Shh! Now imagine that with an elected official.
Choose not to vote, choose not to be heard. Get registered today.
It's that time of year where everyone plays a dangerous game with the flu. Going in uneducated, you run the risk of symptoms like cough, migraine, and fatigue. Don't be like this guy. Combat the flu with cough drops, ibuprofen, and a good night's sleep. Be smart, don't catch the flu.
The UNT men's basketball team fell in the second round of the NCAA tournament to Villanova by a score of 84-61 on Sunday night. The Wildcats came out firing early from the three-point line and dropped 47 points in the first half alone. The story of the game was the Villanova three-point shooting, and the Mean Green just could not find a way to cool them down. Javian Hamlet was the leading scorer for UNT with 25 points. In what we assume was his final game with North Texas, Hamlet put on a show regardless of the final score. Marjorie McBride was the other bright spot on offense for the Mean Green with 11 points. McBride is the only projected starter that is returning next season for the Mean Green. It was certainly enjoyable to watch him shoot over 50% from three-point range in both the Conference USA and NCAA tournaments combined. But to get to the second round of March Madness, you got to win in the first round, and that's exactly what the Mean Green did. UNT defeated Purdue on Friday night 78-69 in overtime. It was the first NCAA tournament win in program history, and they did it only the way this team knows how, in a close overtime game. Regardless of what happened in the second round, the win against Purdue was arguably the biggest moment in North Texas sports history. And guess who led the way in the win? Oh yes, of course, it was Javian Hamlet. 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists in over 43 minutes played in that one. The 2020-2021 season will go down in North Texas sports history books forever, as the Mean Green have won a Conference USA tournament and a March Madness game for the first time ever. On Monday, the National Football League announced that the 2021 draft will be held in various locations around downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Fans will be allowed to attend the draft and participate in draft festivities with masks and social distancing required. Each state will select a group of fully vaccinated fans to attend the draft and watch from a front row seat. The draft venues will include First Energy Stadium, home of the Cleveland Browns, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the Great Lakes Classic Science Center. The 86th annual NFL Draft runs April 29th through May 1st. While our Mean Green's men's basketball team had a historic season, the women's team also made a splash this year. One player in particular was honored by Conference USA. Our anchor Michelle Brooks had the chance to catch up with star player Quincy Noble. Check it out.
From redshirt transfer to first team All-Conference USA, Quincy Noble is balling out at UNT.
At New Mexico as a freshman, I didn't do as well as I wanted to, not a lot of minutes and just not the development I wanted to have. And I feel like I needed to go somewhere else that was going to help me develop and find my love again and, just thrive on the court. And I felt like North Texas was the place. Like that was just it. Just having that support system from my family being able to come and then having extra support from my staff. Like it's not common, and the fact that it was here, it made it even better.
From the beginning, it was obvious Noble was going to have a big impact on the Mean Green.
I knew in the year that she set out, to be honest, I didn't know what it was going to look like once she got with the team and in the fold, and, chemistry kind of, just works itself out at some point in the season. But you knew she was going to be a big part just because, she's an energizer bunny, she brings so much of a motor, great mindset to playing the game, and she gives her all every day.
Noble is the second player in program history to earn first team All-Conference USA honors. And for her, that made her transfer all the more worth it.
It just felt like it was so cool to be like, wow, this is my first time really playing in a long time. It was really a confidence booster because it was something I felt like maybe I needed because I kind of lost myself. I didn't feel like I was good at what I was doing anymore for the longest, and coming here just changed it. And I don't know, it just helped me grow again. So I think just getting that really just shows hard work pays off.
We're certainly looking forward to see what she can do in the future. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Justin. Okay, Michelle, I can't think of anything cuter than a puppy.
Well, you are in luck because today is National Puppy Day. It really is. It's an official day, and it all started in 2008 as a way to increase awareness about puppy mills and orphan puppies. Animal rescue organizations across the nation are holding special adoption events to help those furry little fluffballs find a home. But don't worry, if you're thinking about adopting a puppy, every day is Puppy Day.
You know what, that's really good to say because I think I'm going to be adopting a puppy for my dad.
Kayla, I love your point about adopting and not just shopping. I feel like that's so important.
Yes, it is. Thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow night at 6 here on North Texas Television.